Howdy folks, and welcome to 50 Nautical Mile Arc. A little bit of a different video today. As you can see, the airplane's already running and on the runway, and we're at Atlanta today. I have never been to Atlanta in real life, nor in the sim, and I know that this is supposed to be one of the more interesting and most detailed scenery gateway airports for the sim, which means it's part of your own Xplane as well, as long as you're running Xplane 10.5 or newer. I'm running 10.51. And you might be wondering, what am I doing? Well, I wanted to do some touch and goes in this thing. And I thought, why not bring you along with me? If it's not your style, you can just skip the video. But if you want something different, go ahead and watch. The reason for that is because I have been having a difficult time landing any aircraft ever since I updated to Xplane 10.5, because it defaulted all my sensitivity controls on my yoke and my keyboard. And instead of painstakingly readjusting all the sensitivity, I decided, why not have the challenge of keeping everything default sensitivity and just trying to succeed with that. In-air flying has been just fine, but landing has been really rough. So I'm like, why not try some touch and goes and then see how it goes. It might be a waste of our time, but I might actually improve doing this, and then I can apply it to future flights and other aircraft. So that's the reason for that. My sensitivity controls have changed, and therefore I just am not doing very well with my landing. So we're going to try this, see how this goes. I have my heading bug in ILS set for runway 9 right or left. I think it's 9 left. And then that way we can just go around a couple times and see how it goes. I've been flying this a lot off camera because I enjoy this JS727-200 Advanced version 2 so much. It's my favorite aircraft for Xplane, even though in general my favorite type of flying is VFR and general aviation. But in terms of aircraft, this is by far my most favorite aircraft. So I've been doing a lot of flying of this on my own off camera, and I've just been having a heck of a time landing it. I've been having issues where I come down with a great approach, but then I have a bad time with the throttle, and I bring the throttle down too late. Therefore, I land late because when I flare, I float, and then I end up on the left side of the runway. And one time I actually rolled into the Minnesota River. Another time, in fact, this is on video if you can tell which one, I brought the throttle in too soon, and the last 10 feet were really rough, and I hit hard. I planted it, and I didn't roll off the runway, but it wasn't a very smooth landing. And I've just been frustrated because I've flown this plenty of times on camera, and my landings have always been just fine. But because of the sensitivity thing, things have really changed. And I've been enjoying the extra sensitive in-air controls that I don't really want to change that just for landing. I'd rather keep the sensitivity in the air. And since it's the same axes and everything, it also has to apply to landing. So I just got to get better at it. So we're going to fly dirty. What that means is I'm keeping the flaps out to 20 and keeping the gear down. And we're just going to do some circuits here. And that way all I need to do is go down to 30 flaps. In fact, I'm going to switch my V card over here. So 30 flaps and 128, and then my flag will change. And then once we touch down, I'll bring the flaps up again. And so on and so on. And I don't know if we're doing 1 circuit or 10 circuits. And I don't know how much of an edited video you're watching versus how much I've left raw. I just know that my throttle is all the way forward because I'm flying so dirty, and I can't keep my speed up because I have the flaps out so far. I guess we'll have to bring some flaps in and then bring them back down when we're on base, because this isn't working. There we go. So I brought my throttle down to 92 N1 so we don't start on fire. Now we're gaining speed. Good. I don't need to go too high. So now I'll bring the throttle back a little bit. Just bringing the flaps down to 15 really helped a lot. That must be downtown Atlanta. It's all autogen. I don't have any scenery for Atlanta installed. I've never been down here in real life, let alone in the airplane. Alright, let's do a downwind leg. That should be enough time. Of course, this is way different than doing touch and goes in a small aircraft. I don't even know. You guys have to tell me. Do they do touch and go practice in the Jetliner, or do you just do it all in the sim? Like, would you take an Airbus or a 737 and do touch and goes in real life, part of your training, or do you just do it all in the sim? I guess I don't know. But I know where we are because of that heading bug. So now the heading bug is almost straight down. So then I know we're parallel to a runway. See how that works. Basic stuff, but if you don't fly regularly yourself, you might not notice that. So there we go. Now I know we're parallel with the runway. And if you look outside, there it is. You see we're flying dirty. So I'll wait until we go to base and I'll put the rest of our flaps out, and I'll probably need air brakes or speed brakes at this point because our speed got pretty fast. Like, nah, I can just bleed off speed now. For those of you who live in Atlanta, I don't know how realistic that is. The AutoGen in 10.5 and up is supposed to be realistic in terms of building density and height. I don't know. I'll have to look at some Skyline screenshots online and compare, I guess. Alright, now we can't turn our head and look back to see the runway. Like in a small airplane, you turn back, and when you're 45 degrees off, you start your base leg, but we obviously need way more space than that, so we'll just go out a ways. Not out to that river, that's too far, but we'll just go a little bit longer and make base. We've leveled off now, and we're holding steady at 160 knots, so we'll just stay like this. And we'll get our auto brakes. No, wait. We don't want auto brakes, because we're going to take off again. Never mind. Anyway, we picked up the ILS, even though it's behind us. And because we got so much speed, I'm going to wait until our glide slope kind of agrees with where we are. Then I'm going to make my base leg. Landing lights are already on. Tower's wondering what we're doing, but we're doing it. Alright, we're getting kind of far away, so let's dial back throttle so we lose altitude a little bit. There we go. Now we're getting established on the glide slope, even though it's behind us. And flaps 30 are, where are we at? We're at 15, right? Where's that 10? Flaps 30 is the second to last line. So we'll get our first set of flaps out. Well, from where we are. It's flaps 15. Okay, that's where we were. And let's try not to need our speed brakes. So let's bring back throttle a little more. It's going to be a short final, so I'm actually going to get out 25 flaps now. And okay, so now we're way below glide slope, so let's stay level. Of course I'm doing this all by hand. I could do this with autopilot and just kill autopilot at minimums, and all this could be autopilot, but I'm not going to. Alright, we gotta turn back quite sharply here. We're still below glide slope, so let's keep level like I said. But our speed is dropping quickly because of all the flaps. So let's just do this. Okay, so we're going. We want to be 5 plus gusts. There's no wind, so we're going to be. Ultimately, we want to be 5 above landing speed. We're about 15 now. We're still losing. Okay, let's level off. I'm not going to look out the window. I'm going to do this all IFR. I know the airport's right to our left, very close actually. But we're just going to stay just like this. Okay, we're about level. And we're about where we want to be for speed, I guess, because we have a short approach. We want to be about 40 degrees off. Right now we're about 50 degrees off. Oh, okay, there we go. We got to make sharp. We're so close to the runway that I didn't have much of a warning. So are we gonna make it? Oh, look at that! Nice! Haha, I'm proud of that one. Our passengers might have thrown up, but whatever. Alright, but we're well below glide slope, so we still want to stay level. We're not gonna do 30-degree flaps yet. Yes, runway is in sight. Okay, here we go, about to grab glide slope. When we do grab a glide slope, we want to stay 500 feet per minute. So let's out the flaps now for 30 because we're going to float a little bit. I don't want to lose altitude yet. I'm actually going to reduce throttle to lose altitude when I do, though, because I don't want to go any faster. Pointing down will just gain speed. Alright, so we're at glide slope. We want to go 500 feet per minute. And, we're lined up. Okay, so this part I haven't had problems with. In fact, this part with the higher sensitivity has made it easier. We're going a little steeper than we want to, but we are above glide slope. My problem is when we're about to touch down. I've either been letting the throttle out too late, so when I pull up to flare, I over flare and I actually gain altitude, because that's where the sensitivity comes in, is when I pull up to flare, I pull up too much. So then I've been trying to compensate by letting the throttle, pulling it back sooner. Well, then it's too soon, and then I go up to flare and I stall 10 feet from the ground and hit it kind of hard. Not totally unrealistically, and I wouldn't break anything. It's just I want to do better. We're still a little high, but our speed is perfect for where we are. We want to slow down a few by the time we get closer, but so that's my plan right now. I have one hand on my yoke and the other one on my throttle. I have an Eclipse yoke, so I've got two-sided yoke. And okay, now we're established again, so let's go about 500 feet per minute again. But I'm using throttle because if I just pull up, we're going to lose too much speed. But you see us dipping up and down. That's because the sensitivity is crazy. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to get just above the threshold. And when we're down about, I don't know, 20 feet above, I'm going to kill throttle. Maybe 30 feet. No, 20 feet above, I'll kill throttle. We're too high because I'm too busy talking. So that's my plan. I'm going to shut up now and see if this works. Why is it giving me glide slope? That's a great... Whatever. That was good. Don't tell me glide slope. 40. 20. There's 10. Pull back throttle. Nice! Look at that! And, oh good, and I'm not using reverses because we're going to take off again. So, flaps in. If there's enough room. I don't know, maybe you can't really do a touch and go in a jet. Flaps are coming in so I get some speed. There we go. Throttle forward. And I'm going to ride this out. And up we go. Flaps in a little bit more so I don't have the same problem I had last time. Oh, lots of runway. I forgot we're at Atlanta. I could have gone up and down twice in this thing at Atlanta. Let's bring back the throttles. Alright, I do want to see a replay of that, but I'm really afraid I'm going to have a texture problem like I did in my other video. So let's actually, well, let's just do it. I want to see what's going to happen. Alright, I'm actually going to set up the replay with you because I want to see what happens. So there we have, all our textures are working. And here we go. It was telling me glide slope, which, I don't know, I thought that was perfectly fine to be honest. Here we're coming in. We landed a little long. Just a little. But, that was great. Oh my gosh. Why can't I do that after an hour and a half flight? See, that's the problem. You fly for an hour and a half, and then it comes your landing. And if you screwed up, you feel like crap. But if you do that, that's great. Let's go back inside the cockpit, though, and watch it, because what really matters is what we see on our gauges. See, now our textures are going all bonkers. So let's go down IFR here and see what... Alright, so we're at 20, 40, 60 feet per minute. No, 600, 300 feet. Sorry, I can't read that gauge with my monitor. 1, 2, 3, 400 feet per minute or so, and then I smooth all at the last minute. Cool. That was good. Let's see what happens when we go to real time if we keep our textures. Alright, back to real time. Everything's there, but we're not on autopilot, so I got to get inside or we're going to have a problem. So let's let's do it again, I guess. Let's see if I can do 2 in a row, make sure that wasn't just luck. I talk about beginner's luck. I suffer from beginner's luck, and I've determined what beginner's luck is when you concentrate really, really hard the first time, and it goes well, so then you just don't concentrate next time, and you have problems. So anyway, I'm not going to make you watch me do a circuit again, so I will see you when we're about 500 feet above ground on our next landing. See you in a bit. Alright, we're about to turn on final, and I'm giving us a really, really, really short approach this time because honestly it takes forever to do a circuit, and I just don't want to spend an hour doing these circuits. So we are just going to establish 5 miles away. See that 5? That tells us we're 5 nautical miles away. And we're not really having a glide slope problem because we're not established yet. But because we're so close, it thinks we're established. And it's telling me I'm too low, but I'm fine. There we go. Had we done a typical like 15 nautical mile approach, then yeah, that glide slope thing would have been a big deal. But we're not. We weren't even established yet. So, well, technically when the thing starts to move, you're established, but we weren't like really, really ready to go yet. Flaps are down the way they're supposed to be. I'm a little bit to the left here. We're doing a little bit more than 500 feet per minute, but we're still a little high for some reason. Alright, we gotta slow down too. Alright, let's see if I can concentrate enough to do this twice in a row. So here we go. Approach is great so far, especially for how short that was. Let's see, it's gonna give me a glide slope warning again, I can just tell. Let's see, we want to slow down too. Alright. Yeah, we're going to get glide slope again. This reason for me going too low and leveling off is from flying so many tail draggers. What that tells you is that I'm mixing this between IFR and visual. I should just really jump down here and do it and not look, but whatever. Alright, our speed is exactly where we want it to be. So it says 2 red, 2 green, even though it says we're way too high on the instrument. That's interesting, isn't it? Look at that disparity there. We're going to slow down a little bit. There you go. Throttle coming back a little bit, but not too much. 10, throttle back. Whoops, see, I floated too much. Are we going to touch down or what? Oh, we did touch down already. Or are we bouncing around? Oh, we were down. Sweet! I greased it. That means you don't even know you're down yet. There we go. Cool. We're doing reverses because I can. I'm not doing this again. Twice was enough. Let's see. Let's apply some brakes. Without overheating them. Reversers off at 60. I don't know this airport, so I'm just going to stop right here in the middle of it and we'll watch a replay of that. I think I greased it. I don't think I was bouncing around, was I? I don't know. You gotta come down here for the parking brake because my yoke will disengage but not engage it. Alright, let's check out the replay, I guess. Alright, see, the textures work during the daytime, but if you remember that other video when it was nighttime, it went invisible. Remember that? It's fine during the day though. Alright, let's see what really happened here. Alright, came down. Oh yeah, I did grease it. A little extra nose tipping, but see, I didn't think I was down yet. That's why I did that, because I thought it was still in the air. And I was waiting to touch down and we were already down. I think I landed on the center line too, and then I just moved over. Let's check that one more time, I'm curious. Oops, let's hit that one, there we go. Oh, never mind. Did I? Let's see. Let's see here, I like how it's smiling at us. Oh, I did land in the center. Nice. Almost. Then I drifted a little bit. Whatever. Well, I'm happy with that. That's 2 for 2. So if I can apply that to the long haul flights, then I will be a happy camper. Cool. And I'm glad my textures are working during replay because at night they don't. So good. That's it, everybody. Let's hop back to real time and then it'll be quieter. Alright, here we are in real time. Different kind of video for me today. I normally don't do this type of thing on this channel. It's normally GA flights and somewhat long haul in this jetliner, but I want to do something a little different, and I wanted to practice my landings because they've been driving me crazy. That's definitely not a secret. I talk about it every time, and I thought I'd just bring it along with me. So hope you enjoyed the variety a little bit. If you are a big subscriber, thank you for continuing support. If you found my channel by accident, please subscribe, spread the word, help me build this channel. Not many people are doing this type of thing. A to B flying anyway, which is what I normally do. So with that being said, let's look around Atlanta one more time. This will be in your Xplane as well if you're 10.5 or newer, and I'll catch you on the next one.